What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your man Chaz Ellis once again giving you the information that you asked me for. Make sure you hit me up on the askchazzellisproject.com because some of you guys want to get more detailed questions, things you want to ask me in private. Go ahead and go in there and get a quick question, and you can ask whatever detailed stuff you want to ask. I'll give you a response. Also, if you want to get a consultation, if you want to go back and forth, kind of talk with me, you can see me, I can see you, or you can talk on the phone or whatever, get a consultation for that. Also, make sure you check out the live stream. I'm going to be showing you how to get a player out of your life. Some of you people have been dating somebody that have been around somebody. You try to get rid of that person over and over again because you feel like they were playing you and they were dissing you, but they keep coming back. I'm going to show you how to get rid of that person for good. So check that out. That's going to be next Sunday night, June 14th, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you go ahead and get that. That's going to go to askchazzellisproject.com to get that also. And make sure you just go to Ask Chazzellis on Facebook and check me out on there too. I got all kinds of stuff on there. Check it out. Anyway, the question that I got was, what's one of the hardest things that you deal with in terms of doing consultations and stuff with women? Like, what's one of the hardest things? I think one of the hardest things that I deal with is the fact that most women are really not programmed for long distance or long-term relationships. Most women are just not programmed to be in long-term relationships and to be able to keep a guy over a long period of time. I know that might upset some ladies, but it's kind of is what it is. If you look at the advice that most women have gotten and most of the things that they've learned over their lifetime, it's more focused on getting a man and not actually focused on keeping one. For me, I look at it kind of like, when you look at your friends and your family members and stuff like that, a lot of times you're talking to two types of people. You're talking to guys that you would never date. That's why they're friends. And you're talking to females that, most often don't even have a dude themselves or are not really, don't really even understand how they got one. They don't really necessarily have the information to give you. So a lot of people get information from those sources, and when it doesn't work out, they seek outside sources. Now, unfortunately, when they seek the outside sources, most of the time it's people who are just in the industry trying to sell something. Like, that's all they want to do. They're not necessarily trying to give you a solution to your problem as much as they're trying to get you into the industry. And get you as just being this, like, I guess, a customer, more than saying, okay, here's how I'm going to help you. Here's how I'm going to try to help you fix your problem, so you don't need me anymore. And that's kind of what a lot of women run into. So what they basically get is they get all of these different things when they get information from people about how to get a man. Is basically things that are designed to trick a man into making a verbal commitment to them, or to blackmail a man into making a verbal commitment to them, but not things that are designed to make them the type of person that same man will want to be with over a long period of time, like 20, 30 years. You see what I'm saying? I liken it to the diet industry. Now, some of you have been on yo-yo diets throughout your entire life pretty much, so you'll really understand what I'm talking about when I talk about the diet industry. The way the diet industry is set up, for the most part, not everybody does this, but for the most part, what you see is it's set up to basically say, here is a small period of time that you can lose this ridiculous amount of weight. Now, I used to work as a personal trainer. Yes, I've had millions of jobs. This is where I get a lot of my information from, but that's beside the point. Anyway, I used to work as a personal trainer, and what I would see a lot of is you would offer people a particular program. You say, this is how you're going to change your lifestyle, and this will help you lose weight and feel more healthy, and just as an overall approach. What they would do, a lot of people would say, you know what, I don't really want to do that. That sounds like a lot of work. That sounds like I have to change me as a person so I can reflect, so that reflects on the outside. A lot of people don't want to do that. So what they do is they buy into one of these crash diets. They say, okay, well, I'm going to get on the dirt and water diet, and I'm going to lose 40, 50 pounds. They say I can lose 40, 50 pounds in a month. So I'm going to just do that. Or I'm going to get on this shrimp diet and lose, 30, 40 pounds in 2 months. Whatever the case may be. So they find one of these diets and they go ahead and get on it. And sure enough, they lose 30, 40 pounds, 50 pounds in whatever time period that the diet said they would. Because the reality of the situation is most of those crash diets actually do produce the results if you do them right. Or most of those different crazy programs and stuff like that, they produce the results if you do them right. So they get the results they're looking for. They say, see, look, I told you, take a look at me now. And, you know, they're all happy and hyped up and they feeling so good about themselves and everything. Now, you see that person about a year or so later, in some cases even less. You see that person about a year or so later, and they've gained back every pound and then some. Some of you may have been, you know, a victim of this yourselves. They've gained every pound and then some back. And they're sitting there, they're upset, and they don't know why that happened. What the hell happened? Why am I so big now? I lost all this weight, and I gained it right back. Now, a year or two goes by while they're still weighing that amount, and they're getting bigger and bigger, and they think back to themselves, you know what? I remember when I lost all that weight on that water and dirt diet. I'm about to get on the water and dirt diet again. So they go back and they repeat the cycle over and over again. Now, maybe they don't do the water and dirt diet every time, but they do one of those other kinds of diets. That's basically the same thing. This becomes their cycle. This becomes the pattern. So they stay in the weight loss industry for years and years and years and years, going from maybe one program to another, but basically the same thought process and the same philosophy. Well, this is how the love industry works. Basically, what it's designed to do is to show you how to hold out for 90 days and trick somebody into making a verbal commitment to you, or blackmail somebody into making a verbal commitment to you, how to set these particular standards for a guy so that he thinks that you're a certain type of person on the inside when the reality is that you're not. What it does is it shows you how to get that guy initially by making them think, by triggering things in that guy that makes them think that you're a particular type of woman. But unfortunately, when you're with that guy for a while, now you have to live that lifestyle and you're not able to do so because that's not really you. You know good and well that normally you don't make a guy wait to have sex with him. So that's because that's what's internal, and that's something that's going on internally, and what that does is it shows on the outside. What they teach you to do is basically cover up the outside. They teach you to basically put a mask on or put a shield on to make that person not necessarily see you. But unfortunately, when you have to live, and this is what happens with these crash diets, once you lose that weight, you have to go back to living again. And then everything that you had inside of you, all of the issues that you have with food, all the issues you have with the sedentary lifestyle, those things come back and it causes you to gain that weight and then some. Well, when you get with this dude and you have to start living and being in a relationship with this person, being married to this person, or whatever the situation is, now the things that were in you that caused the behavior that you exhibited in the past, that comes out. And the fact that you're not the type of person that they thought you were. Like, you made them wait 90 days. You said, oh, well, I don't accept Saturday dates on Thursday. So what happened in that situation is that guy started thinking that you were the type, that you were maybe this old-fashioned type of female who, you know, I cook, I clean, I go to church on Sundays and all that kind of stuff. You exhibited those types of behaviors, but that's not really who you are. So now what you've done is you've caused the guy, if you've attracted the type of person who wants that, and that's not really what you are, you can't really deliver. So what you've done is you've confused the person into believing that you're a certain way, and you've, in effect, wasted your own time because there was no way you could ever really build a real relationship. And this is what often happens in multiple different ways. They'll show you to basically, what these dating things will do is they'll basically show you to pretend to be somebody different than you are to attract somebody. They won't show you how to say, here's what I need to change on the inside so that that's reflected on the outside. It's a lifestyle change, and a man is one of the results of that lifestyle change. It's not like, here's my goal to do this one thing, and then my lifestyle is the same, so it destroys whatever I have. What I do with women when I talk to them is I go into your life. I go into what you are as a person, who you are as a person, how you are. And I say, what are you trying to attract? Who do you want to be with? What type of individual are you trying to get have a relationship with. And then I tell you, hey, this is what you got to change about yourself to be able to make that happen. This is what you got to change about yourself to attract this type of person. If you notice, most of my videos are about self-discovery and change, and even for guys also, because a lot of guys are the same way, they have this, this feeling of, I'm supposed to, this girl just supposed to come along and make my life better. And, or if I do whatever she says or whatever, but you can't maintain that. So what I do is I try to teach people how to live their life in such a way that they can maintain it, because it reflects who they are. Now, sometimes you have to change things about your core to be able to do that. But it's like you have to change it from the inside and then reflect it on the outside. Not put up some kind of a shield or a wall to make people not be able to see the inside, because eventually that breaks away and that person is no longer interested in you. So that's why I do what I do, and that's why I think people are in a situation that they are a lot of times. So hopefully I was able to help you out. Once again, it's your man Chaz Ellis. Make sure you go to the askchazzellisproject.com. Make sure you also, if you need to get a consultation or something like that, hit your boy up. If you want to get, if you want to check out some of the stuff I'm posting, go to Ask Chazzellis on Facebook. And also make sure you check out the live stream. That's going to be going on next Sunday night, June 14th, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So check it out. Peace.